I'm going to be getting married. And that's just what I deserve for being such a beautiful woman.
Is that so? You're getting married to Andy then? Congratulations.
That is right. But why do you know about him? Did I ever tell you the name of my boyfriend before?
I think that I've known about Andy a lot longer than you have at this point. But you don't have to worry about that. Just congrats on you both getting married. However, I wasn't really thinking that the two of you would ever make it this far together. But you have always wanted to get married to someone, so this is great for you.
What is up with that kind of attitude? Are you trying to talk down to me? Did you really think that I wouldn't be able to get a man to marry me, even though I have this wonderful body?
Huh? Why do you think I meant what I said as a slight towards you? I just wanted to say congrats for finding a man that would marry you, and that I'm happy to see things working out.
Well, you don't have the right to talk to me like that about my situation. Have you even seen the current job you're working? Would you ever think it's okay for an overnight cleaning lady to talk to anyone else the way you've been? You're the lowest of the low in the society, so I'm not going to let you talk crap.
About this again? What about being a cleaning lady means that I'm the lowest of the low? I've been putting a lot of effort into my job, and I take it very seriously. So don't call me anything like a lowlife, okay?
Well, someone like you shouldn't be having to do a job like that, but perhaps that's the reason why I'm the one getting married and not you.
As though you were chosen? Well, just as long as you're getting married for love.
But when I do get married to Andy, I'll become a housewife for him. Unlike a cleaning lady, I'll never have to work in other people's houses or offices to do their dirty work.
I don't have a problem with any of that, though. Layla, do you think you could stop talking down to me about the job I do? I'm starting to become a little bit upset by the way you talk about me. I'm sure that you can't see that yet, but...
Why do I have to care about how you feel when I talk to you? I'm not in the position where I have to give up my time thinking about how low lives feel. And you are the worst of the low lives.
You're going too far, Layla. And to put some things into perspective for you, do you know how you ended up meeting Andy in the first place?
What do you want to say to me? I was introduced to Andy by Mom, right? She told me that he's one of her friend's son.
Huh? Is that what she told you?
That is. So what does that mean to you? A low-life scum like you is not invited to my wedding? If a cleaning lady came to my special day, it would make the whole atmosphere go sour.
That attitude you have right there. Stop it! I'm getting to my limits with the way you're treating me now, Layla. If I were to stay away from your wedding like you've said, things wouldn't go so well for you. So I'm going. Now, I'll see you at your wedding. Mom, I can see that Layla is going to end up marrying Andrew now, right? Have you not told her yet that I'm the one that's known Andy and introduced him?
Well, that's the problem. It became harder and harder for me to tell her that. With that girl, if I mentioned that you were the one that introduced Andy, she'd freak out, right? She'd get all up in our faces again and would think that we're all playing with her.
Well, I can understand that she wouldn't take it lightly. I can definitely see her flipping out at the news that I was the one to bring him along. But it's crazy that she thinks we're being rude or mean to her when she's the one that's been that way to me my whole life.
And that's the reason I never said anything about her to you. But now that she's going to be getting married to him, she'll finally be able to move out of this house. I'm planning on getting out of here myself and into a new home.
Is that so?
I want to move away with Dad to a smaller farmhouse out in the countryside to spend our final years relaxing. And so we've both been waiting a long time for her to leave.
I can see that. Well, thankfully that time has come.
And once things have settled down after the move, we'd love for you to come out and see the place.
All right. But that's only if Layla can get married to that man. I'm starting to feel a bit bad, though, for Andy now that I've introduced him to a demon of sorts. But if he's really that into Layla, then that's great for him.
I think the two of them fit like puzzle pieces, so it's worked out. I think that Lila and him will be able to get along well, even after marriage. So I'm praying that things go smoothly for her and she doesn't throw it all away.
I'm in the same boat as you are. She told me she doesn't want me to come to her wedding. But I'm afraid something will happen if I don't show, so I'm gonna go still, okay?
And you should still go. She's still a little selfish brat, so you don't have to listen to what she says.
Thank goodness. Well, I'm looking forward to the wedding.
Did you not listen to me? Hurry up and get lost, you moneyless lowlife. I don't want you showing yourself to Andy when he should never know that you're part of my family.
Do you have no idea what you've just done? I think that what's happened is literally taking things way too far between us.
Well, it's your fault for coming to my wedding in the first place, right? I didn't even invite you here in the first place, yet you still showed up.
Well, Mom had received an invitation from Andy asking for the whole family to come to the wedding. I knew that you wanted me to stay away today, but choosing to be violent towards me was going too far overboard.
What about that was violent? I was just making sure that your eyes were opened.
Well, you came up to me and slapped me across the face before yelling at me to leave. Do you not see how messed up something like that really is?
You're getting on my nerves, Sydney. What I had to do with you was in defense of my wedding.
What? Do you know what it means to defend something? Are you sure you weren't just assaulting me a second ago?
Lowlife scum are not a part of my family, so hurry up and leave already. You should have listened to me before I had to take action and defend my wedding.
Why do you think that I'm some lowlife that's worth assaulting?
Because you're an overnight cleaning lady.
Layla, look, what you're saying makes no sense right now.
What I'm saying does make sense. I'm not okay with my little sister being a cleaning lady when she had so much potential. I slapped you to try and wake you up. So now that you understand how I feel about you, get lost.
Then you have a great one.
I don't need to hear that from you.
I'm going to do as you wish and go right home. But allow me to say one last thing. The man that you've just married was introduced to you by me.
Really? Why are you starting to say such unrealistic things now?
I get it. You're not going to believe me. But you're the only one that doesn't seem to care.
What do you mean?
Mom just happened to never tell you about his relation to me. She wanted to keep you from getting upset with me for bringing Andy along, and so she never told you a thing about how he's your husband due to me. You were already upset with me due to my job as a cleaning lady, and she couldn't see you believing her without getting pissed. But the reason that I was able to bring him to you is because I became friends with him and his parents due to my job. But I already have a fiancé, so I decided that he should talk to you more if he was looking for someone.
You know him and his parents? What are you talking about? Do you really think I can take a joke like that seriously? Have you got off the deep end now? I'm sorry that you're having to leave my wedding is so distressing, but it has to be done.
The only reason Mom never told you was for the sake of making sure you would stay with Andy. She was afraid of how angry you'd become and that you'd throw your relationship with Andy away because of me.
Are you really telling me the truth? Why has Andy vanished from me all of a sudden? What's going on here?
Maybe it's because his parents watched as you slapped me in the face earlier?
Huh? They saw all of that?
They saw the whole thing unfold. If it wasn't for you laughing so hard at me, they might have not came and looked. But after you slapped me and started to laugh some more, I went and met with them.
Wait, when you went to go see them, you didn't say anything unnecessary, right? And are you for real about you and Andy already knowing one another?
Because I had known his parents and him for a while. They took good care of me. And it's because of them that I was able to find you a man to marry. But now you've gone and slapped me in front of both his parents.
But I never knew anything about you guys, so maybe this is just you trying to make up crap. Hold on, something's going on. Because you're not here, his parents seem pretty upset right now. And they just told Andy that I've done something wrong. Do you think you could come back here? I feel that if you don't come back right now, things will get pretty bad for me. Please hurry.
Even if you asked nicely, I'm not coming back now, huh?
Huh? Why not? Right now, things are starting to go downhill and I'm a bit panicked. I'm in a bit of pinch right now, so please come back here. Why, after a little slap to my sister, are they all starting to get worked up? Hurry up and get back here.
You asking me to come back now after telling me to get lost out of panic isn't going to work.
Why?
Because you just told me, Layla. You said you don't see me as family, right?
No, that's not what I meant by that.
And now that you've said and done things to someone as vital as me, you might end up getting divorced from him pretty soon. I'm sure that both Andy and his parents are regretting me introducing him to you. We had tried so hard to make things work out between you two, but I've already talked with Andy about this.
Huh? Why? Why are you talking with him before asking me for permission? You don't have to do things like that behind my back. What have you guys been talking about?
I told him that you no longer see me as your family, and so he no longer has to worry about you and I. I then ended our conversation by asking that he do what he thinks is best regarding you.
Huh? What do you mean by that? Do you think that he needs to do something about me being with him now?
Well, you talk down to me for being a cleaning lady, and even have gone as far as to regard me as nothing but a stranger now. I feel as though he should understand that and think twice about being married to you.
Please don't tell me you told him all about that, right?
Of course I told him.
Why did you do something like that to me?
That's right. I almost forgot to say this. I think you really don't know the importance of this.
What is it now? What importance is there that I'm unaware of?
Andy's parents are actually the ones that own the company in which I work for.
Huh?
You've been going on about how much you dislike those that work in the cleaning industry. And since you seem to hate people like me so much, it wouldn't make sense that you be married to the son of two people that own a company which is in the cleaning industry, right?
Hold on. Andy is the son of the company's CEO? I had a feeling that he had a lot of money, but I just assumed he was working for a good company, that's all. That would mean that I've landed the perfect husband, right?
Well, that's only if your marriage to him lasts, right?
I never knew about that. He never mentioned to me that his parents owned a company. I'm freaking out right now because there's so many things I never was told about. This is all way too different from the situation I was thinking about. What should I do now?
Asking me what you should do will get you nowhere. That all has nothing to do with me now. I think that your wedding will be canceled now, and you being married to Andy will crumble, right? You're going to go back to being a single and jobless loser, right?
What is with you calling me that? I'm your sister. And if all of that happens to me because of you, you get back here right now and do something about this. I've never heard of a little sister acting out like that towards her older sister.
Well, I don't think of you as my sister anymore.
Huh?
After what's happened, I'm thinking of just cutting ties with you now. I like to think that someone who's willing to slap their own sister is no family of mine. And so I'll do whatever I can to make sure I don't have to see you anymore. Now, goodbye forever.
Wait, what are you saying? If you are to cut ties with me right now, what will happen to my marriage to Andy? Stop trying to run away from your responsibility.
Well, to be honest, you being married to him was never going to work. He was going to become aware of you at some point in time, so aren't you happy that his eyes have been opened now? Ah, and another thing. Mom and Dad are going to be moving away. And they said they're no longer going to take care of you anymore. So, if you're thinking of going back to them, they won't be there. Don't forget about that, okay?
What's going on? Are you saying that Mom and Dad are going to throw me away as well? You getting in the way of my wedding is the worst thing ever.
I didn't get in the way of anything. You just messed up by slapping me in the face.
That was just a joke, or maybe it was just an accident.
No matter how you try and make excuses for what happened, it won't help you. Now, good luck with your marriage. But before you try for marriage, maybe find yourself a job? Right now, you're just a complete loser. Are you not embarrassed being 33 years old and still living with your parents under all their care? You like to call cleaners lowlifes, but when you think about it, someone who's unemployed and lives with their parents is the real lowlife. See you never, you lost cause. Never try talking to me again. In the end, Layla was left in despair after her wedding was canceled. She immediately ran away from everyone at the wedding and their short marriage was over. Andy's parents tried searching for her as they still wanted to talk to her about why she would do what she did, but after searching for her for hours, they gave up and let her be. Andy was left a small bit heartbroken, but was more relieved than anything else since he was able to see the true person that Layla really was. Layla tried running back to her parents' house, but would soon find that it was already too late for herself. Layla's parents were already out of their old house and moved to the countryside by then. And since she had no one to rely on anymore, she was forced into having to support herself. She tried to get Sydney to help her, but by that point, Sydney had already blocked all her ways of contacting her. Sydney had also gotten married to her fiancé as well, and moved to a new location. And so, Layla was left with nothing but herself, and had to start from scratch like most people had done in their early 20s. If only she had gone out and started fending for herself sooner, something like this would never be happening to her.
Unbelievable. You're actually alive? I mean, really? It's almost like a plot twist out of some twisted soap opera. I heard the rumors about you, but I thought they were exaggerated or perhaps even fictional. I couldn't believe that someone like you, with everything that happened, would still be around. You know, it's almost comedic how you've managed to stay afloat despite everything. It's like watching a poorly scripted reality show where the protagonist just refuses to be written out. Are you seriously getting by on this country's dime? It's almost like a punchline and a cruel joke. I was genuinely scared at one point, thinking you might have stumbled upon something that you weren't supposed to see, something that would unravel everything. You know how secrets can be. They have a way of biting back when you least expect it. Who would have thought? The so-called worthless stepmother who married dad just for his money is still kicking. It's like watching an underdog story, but without the charm. Long time no see, Gracie. It's been ages, hasn't it? Time really flies, doesn't it? Feels like a lifetime has passed since our last encounter. I still remember the last time we met. It was filled with tension and unresolved issues. How have you been managing all these years? From the way you're talking, it seems like you're as lively as ever. I have to hand it to you for maintaining that spirit. It's almost admirable in a strange way. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I am still very much alive and kicking. And if you can believe it, I might actually be in an even better place now, thanks to all the mess you and your father created. It's almost poetic how things turned out, that sometimes chaos can lead to unexpected success. It's like the universe decided to give me a second chance, and I seized it with both hands. Hilarious. You actually took the time to respond? No, I wasn't expecting that. I figured you'd have more important things to do, or maybe not even be around. So you really are alive. It's almost like a plot twist in a drama. Good for you. It's interesting how this country shows such kindness to the weak. Even people like you, who seem to be nothing more than brainless trash, get to live off welfare. Isn't it ironic how the system works? It's like the more you're down on your luck, the more the system seems to prop you up. It's a system that rewards dependence rather than initiative. But then again, the world has always had its fair share of ironies. Isn't that a bit harsh? Well, it's true I've received some support from the country in the past, but I don't think it's fair to label me like that. I did what I had to do to get by. I didn't ask for sympathy or charity, I just made use of the resources available to me. The system may be flawed, but I've done my best to navigate it responsibly. It's not about taking advantage, it's about surviving and making the most of what's available. It's people like you who are dragging this country's economy into the ground, living comfortably on welfare without actually contributing anything. Meanwhile, honest working people are struggling with high taxes and living in poverty. You welfare recipients are nothing but a burden on this country. You think it's fair to generalize like that? Not everyone who gets support is living a life of luxury. Many people, and myself included, use that support as a stepping stone to something greater. It's not about being a burden, it's about finding a way to thrive despite the circumstances. Huh? What do you mean by that? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb, I know all about it. You're on welfare now, aren't you? It's quite the joke. It's almost like you're living a lie, pretending to be something you're not. Get a job at your age. This country doesn't have money to support lazy people who just want to slack off. You have no idea what it's like to work hard for something. I have seen people in much worse situations pull themselves up, so don't act like it's impossible. Seriously, what's wrong with this country? A system that's so kind to people like you while making hard-working people suffer? There is something fundamentally wrong with that. It's frustrating, I get it. But the problem isn't just with the people on welfare, it's with the system itself. It's a broken system that needs fixing. Instead of blaming individuals, maybe we should focus on reforming the system to better support those who truly need it while ensuring it doesn't encourage dependency. I have no idea what you're talking about. You seem to be misunderstanding something. But as for this talk about welfare, are you referring to your father? Huh? What are you saying? You're the one on welfare, right? I heard everything about how your father got fed up with you not working and ended up abandoning you. The story you've heard is incomplete and biased. There's more to it than what you've been told. I'm the one who got fed up with your father and initiated the divorce. In fact, I'm currently thinking of buying 4 high-rise apartment buildings. I've turned my life around and am now in a position where I can make significant investments. What? No. I won't believe such an outrageous lie. If you're going to lie, can't you come up with something more believable? You're quite the storyteller. It's not a lie. It's the truth, even if it sounds unbelievable. I've worked hard to get where I am today. Anyway, I don't need you to believe me at this point, so you can think whatever you like. I don't know what your beloved papa's been telling you, and I have no interest in interfering. I'll just say this, you're mistaken about me. That's all I have to say. If you choose not to believe it, that's your prerogative, but it doesn't change the facts of my situation. Wait, are you serious? Aren't you the one on welfare? And didn't Papa abandon you because you wouldn't work despite being healthy and now you're living on welfare? I'm telling you that's not the case. Even if your papa was a great wealthy man, I don't want to entrust my life to others. I chose to work for myself. It's a matter of pride and self-reliance. I've built something from nothing and I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I don't know if it's jealousy or what, but when you pushed me down and caused me to break a bone, there was indeed a time where I couldn't move. There were times when I felt deeply depressed, but I still managed to pull myself together, start a new company, and contribute to society properly. It was a tough period, but I used it as a catalyst for change. Huh? This is different from what I heard. You're living comfortably on government money? Sure, I received some subsidies when starting my business, but that was based on my own funds. I submitted proper business plans and started the business and received support to accelerate it. It was a strategic move to get things off the ground. Now, the business is running smoothly, and I'm paying far more in taxes than the amount of subsidies I received. I'm contributing positively to the economy, not draining it. It's a turnaround story that shows what can be achieved with determination and hard work. What? The scale of this conversation is too big for me to follow. Wait, you're saying you own a company? Is that where you're starting from? I'm telling you that's the case. I'd been operating on a small scale before, but now I've started a new company and it's going well. It's been a journey of growth and adaptation. So, is it true that you own 4 high-rise apartment buildings? Why would I tell such a useless lie? What would be the point? It's not a lie, it's a reality. I've invested wisely and managed to acquire several properties. It's a testament to my success and hard work. And as I said earlier, I don't need you to believe me, so I'm just telling you the facts. My achievements are my own, and I don't need validation from anyone. When you say high-rise apartments, they're not that impressive, right? Tell me which high-rise apartments. I wonder what you consider not impressive. For example, that the new high-rise apartment in front of the station is one of the properties I own. It's quite a prime location. There's also another in the heart of the city, which is known for its luxury amenities. Wait, are you serious? Well, that's just one example. I own several others across different areas. It's not just about owning properties, it's about creating value and contributing to the community. So I'm not as financially troubled as you might think. And I'm not living dependent on the country or a husband. I've made my own way and built a successful business from the ground up. It's been a rewarding experience and I've gained a lot from it. I don't know what your father's been telling you, but the one who can't live without relying on the country is your father. It's clear he's struggling, especially if he's been making such claims about me. He might be projecting his own issues onto me. Is that so? But Papa said he divorced you right away. I heard you were a worthless person who wouldn't work properly. What are you talking about? The one who doesn't work is that man. Even when I tried to assign him work, he wouldn't do it properly. He was a drain on my resources. And when I broke a bone, he blamed me for the work not getting done. Moreover, even though you caused that fracture by harming me, he blamed me for not taking care of my health daily. It was a complete nightmare. I got fed up and divorced him. It was a decision made out of necessity, not convenience. Huh? This is completely different from what I heard. Papa's on welfare, but I just started university. How does Papa intend to pay for it? How should I know? Discuss that with your beloved Papa. You're the one who cut ties with me, right? I'm no longer involved in that part of your life. Besides, I've already divorced your Papa, so I have nothing to do with you guys anymore. Whatever happens to you from now on is none of my business. I'm focused on my own life and my own success. So let me say this again. Don't ever get involved with me again. I'm sure Papa has a plan. He wouldn't tell such lies. Would he? Being on welfare means he probably doesn't have savings and isn't earning much money, so I wonder if he has enough money for you to attend university. It's ironic how the roles have reversed. He's the one who's struggling, while I've managed to thrive despite the odds. No way! Surely you'll help me if something happens! What an incredible turnaround. You broke my bone, and now you're saying surely? I have absolutely no reason to take your side. It's a turn of events that even I didn't anticipate. That's because I didn't know. An old hag like you marrying Papa at that age. I thought there was no benefit other than swindling money from Papa. It's understandable to think that way based on what you knew, but it's more complicated than that. I just played a little prank. A little prank that breaks someone's bone is pretty serious. Maybe you should reflect on your actions. It wasn't just a prank, it was a severe action with long-lasting consequences. You're messed up as a person, so you might want to use this opportunity to fix that personality of yours. Self-improvement is a continuous process, and I've worked hard to better myself. But I can't. Well, it's none of my business, so do whatever you want. Don't say that. If that's the case, you can marry Papa. Remarry him, then you can live happily with Papa again. Everyone's happy, isn't that great? What happy remarriage? That man, after marrying him, his personality completely changed, and it was terrible. He barely worked, but complained all the time. And when he came home, he just lounged around playing with his smartphone. I was exhausted from work and the fracture, so I asked him to help with housework, but he insisted that housework is women's work and shouldn't be done by men. It was a constant battle. I had to manage everything on my own. It was a losing battle. Well, that's why I left the house early. It was clear that staying would only lead to more frustration and resentment. I see. At first I heard that you left to be considerate of us, but it was because you'd be made to do everything if you stayed at home. You're paying the rent with your part-time job, right? Why don't you earn and pay for your tuition, too? It's the reality of being independent. Life requires us to take responsibility for our choices and to find ways to support ourselves. But Papa said he won't pay the rent. He said since I want to move out on my own, I should pay for it myself. Yes, that's right. It's a harsh reality, but it's part of growing up and becoming self-reliant. You thought I was on welfare anyway, right? So isn't it good that I'm not a burden? It's a twist of fate. Well, goodbye. Life is full of unexpected turns. Sometimes it's better to move on and focus on what truly matters.
Did you really say unnecessary things to Gracie? What exactly do you mean by saying that I'm receiving welfare? This is completely outrageous. I just received a message from her and I'm absolutely shocked. I had no idea you were spreading lies about me receiving welfare.
It was quite by chance that I ran into her again and she decided to reach out to me. I honestly didn't want to be in touch with her, but here we are.
This is completely unacceptable. As a father, I still have my pride. You've completely destroyed the image she had of me as her father because of your actions.
I couldn't care less about what you think of the situation. I didn't say anything out of personal desire. She was mocking me, calling me a welfare recipient, so I simply corrected her and informed her of the truth about you.
But there's definitely a proper way to handle such situations. Why did you specifically drag me into this?
It's because she had a misunderstanding and claimed that I married you for your money. But wasn't it actually you who had that intention in the first place? You entered the marriage with the clear intention of making me take on all the household responsibilities, didn't you?
Well...
And then you just abandoned me, claiming you discarded me. The reality is, it was you who was left behind by me.
That's the truth, but...
Even if you're talking about this behind my back, you should ensure that your daughter understands not to involve herself with me regardless of the circumstances. And you should also make sure she knows not to get entangled with me in any way.
Shut up! It's none of your business.
Look at you, running away again. You put on a facade of being a strict father to your daughter while you only want to live comfortably yourself. Well, if your daughter was growing up properly and turning out well, that would be one thing. However, considering that she's developed a twisted personality like yours, there's no hope for her.
Shut up! You abandoned me! You were a useless woman who couldn't balance housework and work. And yet you have the nerve to talk to my daughter about unnecessary matters.
Oh, fine. Just leave it already. This whole situation is too much of a hassle, so please don't contact me again. You handle your own affairs from now on.
And what's this about? 4 high-rise buildings, you say? I wasn't informed of that.
Oh, that. After our divorce, my business took off. I no longer had to waste any more time dealing with you. I was absolutely right to end things with you.
You didn't achieve anything significant until after we separated? So now you're living in a luxury apartment?
That's none of your concern. If you're frustrated, why don't you get out of welfare and start working for yourself? Well, I suppose that's a challenging topic for someone like you who's always glued to their smartphone and doesn't do anything productive. Or is it? Are you envious of me, the woman you once looked down upon? You used to say that a woman's job is to manage household chores and that you were gracious enough to let me work, all while trying to conceal the fact that you didn't have the financial means to support me. You're the one who wanted to work, so that's fine. You thought it was okay to marry me because I was unemployed, right? Having a free housekeeper at home must have been ideal for you. But when I decided to end our relationship, your pride got in the way of even attempting to keep me.
That's not true. I didn't need you, and that's the simple truth.
To be honest, I didn't care whether you were receiving welfare or not. But it turns out you really were. I had my suspicions, but I didn't expect it to be so accurate.
What did you say? Did you say that without knowing the full situation?
How could I know? I'm not interested in you. You were the one who lied and labeled me as a welfare recipient, so it's only fair that I retaliate, don't you think?
You actually did it?
Well, considering you lie so easily, I had a suspicion it might reflect on yourself. But I'm not surprised.
You! How dare you!
All right. If you have time to spout unnecessary nonsense and hold grudges, why not try doing something more constructive? You're only sending pointless messages like this because you're on welfare and have too much free time. At least do something beneficial for society and others. Oh, and if I borrow your daughter's words, maybe you should work at your age. That's it.
She said such things. Looking down on me?
Are you referring to me or to welfare recipients in general? If there's a legitimate reason for receiving welfare and you live modestly, it's different. But seeing recipients who don't work, eat well, sleep in comfortable places, buy good things, and live luxuriously while spewing hateful words makes me question the country's policies. So if you have the luxury to make others feel bad, then make sure you're working properly. How long do you plan to be a burden on society?
You just say whatever you want. You don't know anything about me.
Those who don't make an effort are the ones who speak like that, acting like a tragic heroine despite knowing nothing. Those who understand effort and hardship would not speak so arrogantly.
That's enough. Never get involved with me again.
That's what I've been saying repeatedly. Every time this conversation comes up, it's the same old story. We've been through this before, and it's clear that nothing is going to change. If you continue to behave this way, it's only going to cause more problems. I've made my position clear, and I expect you to respect that. I want to move forward and not dwell on the past, so please, just let it go. I don't want to deal with any more of your nonsense or the drama it brings. It's time for both of us to focus on our own lives and stop dragging each other into unnecessary conflicts. Let's just end this here. I've already made it clear that I don't want any further contact. If you continue to reach out, it will only complicate things further. So for the sake of both of us, let's part ways and move on. I hope you understand and respect my wishes.
Wait a minute. Let's clarify everything. You're saying I lied about you being on welfare, but why should I believe anything you say? I'm still trying to understand your position. From what I heard, it seemed like you were the one who was relying on government aid. Is that not the case? Because if you really have a stable income and property, it's a huge discrepancy from what was originally conveyed. Are you really living in those high-rise apartments?
Yes, I am. After our separation, I was able to focus on building my business. Without you around, I found the freedom to really succeed. If you're genuinely surprised, maybe you should look into the full situation before making assumptions. I have worked hard to get where I am, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. So if you've heard otherwise, it's time to get the facts straight. I wasn't just sitting around, I actively sought out support to get my business off the ground. It's clear that I was right to leave the relationship considering the kind of environment I was dealing with. The past was filled with challenges, but now I'm on a path where I'm making significant contributions. That's the reality you need to face. Don't be fooled by appearances or misconceptions. Understand that there's a lot more to my story than what you may have heard. I've built something substantial, but it's not right to judge without knowing the whole picture. Focus on your own life and let me focus on mine. There's no room for miscommunications or misunderstandings. So please, let's end this chapter and move forward with clarity. Thank you for understanding. What are you doing? I just got a call from the security at the Tower Apartments. They said you were caught trying to break in and had to be restrained? Are you out of your mind? But Papa freaked out on me. He said he's not going to pay for my university tuition anymore. What was I supposed to do? You're the only person I have left to rely on. And that made you think the best idea was to storm the Tower Apartments? Do you even think before acting? Well, you wouldn't answer my calls. I tried calling you over and over, and when you didn't pick up, I thought maybe if I came in person, you'd have no choice but to help me. And you thought breaking into a place I don't even live at anymore was a good plan? Oh, you're unbelievable. Newsflash, I don't live there. What? You're not living in the Tower Apartments? But I thought you said... I own the apartments. I don't live there. I've been living overseas for quite a while now. So no, storming the Tower Apartments wasn't going to get you anywhere except in trouble with the residents. It's their home, not mine. I didn't know that. I thought you were still living there. Maybe if you thought things through instead of acting on impulse, you wouldn't end up in these messes. And for the record, do you know what time it is when you were bombarding me with calls? It was the middle of the night where I am. My phone was on Do Not Disturb. I wasn't going to answer your barrage of calls at that hour. I didn't think about the time difference.
Even if it wasn't in the middle of the night, do you honestly think I'd pick up after everything that's happened? What exactly did you think would happen? You've done nothing but treat me like dirt. So yeah, I'm not going to answer your calls, especially since you only ever reach out when you need something.
Please, I'm begging you. You're my last hope. If you don't help me, I won't be able to go to university. Papa's already made up his mind.
I've told you before, I don't care. I'm not responsible for you, nor do I owe you anything. We're strangers now, remember? You're the one who decided to cut ties with me. You made it very clear you wanted nothing to do with me.
But I'm willing to take it all back. I take back everything I said and did. We can start over, please.
Even if you take it all back, what do I gain? Absolutely nothing. Don't forget, you're still your father's daughter, and that's a fact I can't change. I pity you because of that, but that doesn't mean I'm going to swoop in and rescue you. You thought I was weak, worthless even. You literally broke my bone once just to put me in my place, remember? Why would I help someone like that?
I was young. I didn't understand what I was doing. Please, I'm sorry. Just help me this one time.
You think your apology erases the damage? That the pain, both physical and emotional, just goes away? I don't think so. You're a grown adult now. It's time to face the consequences of your actions. You need to understand that I don't owe you anything. After what you did, I wouldn't help you even if I could.
I was wrong. I realize that now. Please, if you could just find it in your heart to forgive me and help me out of this situation.
Forgive you? Help you? After all the cruelty and abuse? You really think a few words of desperation are going to change anything? Let me be clear. You're on your own. Maybe it's time you learned what it's like to hit rock bottom. Maybe it's time for you to experience the same despair and hopelessness that you inflicted on me. Consider it karma.
Don't say that, please. I'll do anything. I've learned my lesson. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. I can't go to university. My whole future is ruined.
Your future is ruined because of your own actions. You made these choices, and now you have to live with the consequences. You thought it was funny to hurt me, to belittle me, and now you expect me to rescue you from the mess you created. No, that's not how the world works.
But I can't. I don't know how to fix this. Papa's lost it and won't help me anymore, and I don't know where else to turn. You're my only option. Please, I am begging you.
Your father's issues are his own. I have nothing to do with his decisions anymore. You have to work this out with him, not me. I don't want to hear any more about it. If he's not willing to support you, then maybe it's time you started supporting yourself. Get a job. Pay for your own tuition if you're so desperate to go to university. That's what most people do.
I've been trying, but I can't make enough. Rent, tuition, bills, it's all too much. Please just loan me some money or let me stay at one of your apartments for a while until I get back on my feet. I promise I'll pay you back.
Loan you money? Let you stay at one of my properties? After everything, you still don't get it, do you? I am not your safety net. I don't owe you a place to stay or a handout. You've burned those bridges. You'll have to figure this out on your own, just like I had to figure out my life after all the harm you and your father caused me.
I can't believe you're saying this. I thought deep down you still cared. You were my stepmother. We were family once. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Family? You stopped seeing me as family the moment you decided to break my bones and try to ruin my life. You and your father never treated me like family, so don't expect me to act like family now. I moved on. I built a life without you two, and I'm doing just fine. It's time you learn to stand on your own 2 feet.
Please!
It's over. This conversation is over. You made your choices, now live with them. Goodbye. Gracie's behavior spiraled out of control during the confrontation. When the police arrived to address the situation, she became aggressive and resorted to violence, which only made things worse. Her outburst led to her immediate arrest for obstructing the police in the course of their duties, a charge that carries serious consequences. The scene was chaotic, with her being forcefully taken away, leaving onlookers in shock. What followed was the rapid unraveling of her life. News of her arrest quickly reached her university, which wasted no time in responding. Given the severity of the incident, they made the decision to expel her, effectively ending her academic journey. She had hoped that her education would lead her to a brighter future, but now that future was slipping out of reach. With no degree and no financial support, she found herself in an unexpected position, struggling just to make ends meet. With no other options, Gracie was forced to take up part-time jobs to cover her basic living expenses. The dream of higher education, which had once seemed like a gateway to success, had evaporated in a matter of moments. She now spends her days working long hours in jobs that barely sustain her, far removed from the student life she had once enjoyed. Reflecting on Gracie's situation, I couldn't help but realize the truth of the saying, "What goes around comes around." The way she treated others and the reckless decisions she made finally caught up with her. It's a reminder that our daily actions, whether good or bad, eventually circle back to us. For Gracie, her behavior and choices led to her downfall, showing just how quickly life can change when we don't consider the consequences of our actions.
Hey, I heard that you were going to be getting married from Mom. So, tell me, who's the lucky guy? Probably some poor sap really down on his luck, huh?
Hey there, sis. Glad to see that you're as rude as ever. I guess that means you must be doing well then, right?
So it is true. Are you really going to be getting married? What's the person like? I bet they're just some scammer after your money. Who else would want to marry you?
Can you please just cut it out already, Teresa? I mean, we haven't talked in ages and this is how you greet your little sister? I thought you might have been just a little more excited to hear that I was getting married. Or is it that your life is going so horribly that you have nothing better to do but take others down?
You wish that were the case, dork. I just want to remind you that no matter how hard you try, you'll never be happy. Especially not as happy as I am with my amazing husband. You're just a bottom-dwelling piece of trash and nothing is going to change that.
Okay, did you message me because you wanted to talk about something, or is this it? Because I never remember even asking you to message me for anything. If you want to congratulate me on my wedding, then do so and leave me alone.
Oh, right, that reminds me. I heard about where it was that you were going to be holding your wedding.
I guess news really does travel fast these days, doesn't it?
You really think that your wedding is going to be good enough to make it worth holding at a place like that? What are you, a moron or something?
What are you even talking about, Teresa? If you have a problem with where I'm holding my wedding, then you should just come out and say it. Why are you even acting like this anyways? We're both adults, but sometimes it feels like I'm the only one who acts like it.
Oh, really? You think you're so much more mature than me, huh? Well, I think that you're just getting upset because you know that what I'm saying is true.
I really don't think that at all. Like, even one bit.
All I'm saying is that the place you got for your wedding is way too good for the likes of you. And just how many people are you going to be inviting anyways? You seriously need to learn your place.
Wait a second. Are you just mad about where I'm getting married because it's in a bigger venue than where you did?
Don't be ridiculous. Do you really think I would let myself be bothered by something so stupid? I just think that you're getting a bit uppity and need to stay where you belong.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, I don't think there's anything to be worried about. My fiancé made the reservations, and I think most of the guests there are going to be his anyways. He was going to be inviting friends and family, but also some people from his work as well as business partners. Does that make you feel better about the whole thing?
So what? Your husband works for some kind of big company or something like that? Is that your way of trying to brag about him to me?
No, he doesn't work for a company or anything like that at all.
Wait, what? So then he's just a freelancer or something like that then?
No, he's not that either. He just invests in the stock market and makes money that way. I don't really know all the details personally.
Wait, what? Is that the best you could come up with? So, basically, you're getting married to some small-time freelancer, and you think I'm not going to go after you for that.
Well, it would certainly mean a lot to me if you didn't bully me for who I'm going to marry. I don't really see how who I marry or where I do is really any concern of yours. So I think you'd be better off just not worrying about that at all.
You really are a stupid little girl, do you know that? Sometimes I wish I could live in the fantasy world that you've made for yourself.
I'm sorry, Teresa, but putting down others isn't going to change anything about your own life. Maybe you should just worry about your own stuff and leave me alone. Anyways, when I have more details about the wedding, I'll let you know. But don't think you're under any obligation to be there. I would hate for you to lower yourself just for me.
I found out who your husband is, Max.
What are you talking about this time, Teresa?
I really couldn't believe that it was him when I saw what he was wearing while going out into town. You really did marry some lowly little freelancer, didn't you?
Teresa, I really think you have no idea what you're even talking about.
No. I went around where you live and I saw your husband going out. At first I was like, is that really her husband? I mean, I thought that you didn't have any sense of fashion, but this guy looked like he might have been homeless or something. Just what state could your home be in, I wonder?
Well, he works at home and was probably just going out to buy some lunch for himself. Is that really so weird to do? And just what are you doing coming around where I live to spy on us? That's pretty creepy, you know?
Creepy? How is it creepy for your older sister to see how you're living?
Well, I guess I don't really mind since we're going to be moving out soon, but still, can you quit creeping around us?
I knew it! I knew that you were too embarrassed to tell me about your husband because he's just some shut-in slob. Do our parents know that you're marrying this guy?
I didn't think I needed their permission to marry who I want. But what I do want is for you to quit creeping around my house and spying on me.
Man, I sure am glad that I married the man that I did. If I married some creepy-looking loser like you, I don't know how I would live with myself.
You seriously just need to learn to mind your own business and stay out of mine.
Hey there, sis. Just wanted to let you know that we won't be showing up to your wedding today.
Are you kidding me? The wedding starts in 10 minutes, Teresa.
That sounds like a you problem. You should just be grateful that I said anything to you at all. I know all about how you're just holding this wedding to scam people via wedding gifts. You just want everyone to buy you expensive stuff so that you can go and sell it all online and make a little money, huh? Well, my husband and I are just sitting here laughing at the state of your life right now.
And just where in the world did you get the idea that that was happening? It seems to me like you're very quick to judge about things you know nothing about. But are you seriously not going to show up to my wedding at all? Did you seriously just last minute cancel on your own sister's wedding?
It sure seems that way, doesn't it? But this is what you get for forgetting your place and trying to be something that you're not.
Well, thank you so much for texting me to remind me of that. And fine, don't show up. Have it your way.
I bet you two are dressed in just some of the shabbiest wedding clothes ever known to man. I can almost see it now. Man, what a sad, pathetic sight it's got to be.
Well, then don't bother coming. It sounds to me like you've already made up your mind about that.
I bet we're not the only ones who canceled. Who would even want to be there for you anyways?
Well, actually, things are going great, and there are even a few famous people at this great venue we booked. So we don't want or need your company.
Famous people? Is that supposed to be a joke?
No, it's not a joke. In fact, I just want you to know that I don't even think of you as my sister anymore. So even if you tried to come in, you wouldn't be able to. If you're curious for answers, maybe you should Google my husband's name and see what comes up.
Max, what the heck is the meaning of all this, huh? Why aren't I being let into your wedding? What the heck is going on?
I already told you that you wouldn't be able to get in if you tried, didn't I?
But you were being serious about that?
Of course I was. I didn't want you here ruining the day, not just for me, but for Mom and Dad, too. And just what are you doing showing up so late to my wedding anyways?
What am I doing? I want to know what you're doing. You said your husband was an investor, but when I Googled him, a bunch of TV clips came up where he's being interviewed about the market. I had no idea he was such a big deal in the finance world. Even I've heard of him, and I don't even follow that kind of news.
Okay, well, thank you for telling me that, but what do you want me to do about it? You already knew what he looked like when you were spying on us, although he normally isn't dressed like that when he goes on TV.
But I had no idea what he even looked like, much less what he looked like in street clothes. And I had no idea that you were going to be marrying such a rich guy. But that means that you have to just be marrying him for his money, right? This is all just part of a big plot of yours, isn't it?
Can you please just give it a rest already, Teresa?
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I work as an editor for a rather large business magazine. That's how we met. We bonded over mutual interests, and now we're getting married, and that's it.
But you're really just after him for his money, right? You should have introduced me to him when you met him. I'm a way better match for him than you are.
You literally had no idea who he was until just a moment ago. Can you please stop acting like you're owed anything?
But it isn't fair! I'm way prettier than you! Why do you get a husband like that?
I don't know what you want me to say to that. He is marrying me because he loves me, and that's that. If anyone is thinking about marrying someone just for the money, it's you. You had no interest in my fiancé at all until you found out who he really was. Don't try and lump me in with people like you.
What do you mean? Why are you being so mean to me? I didn't even do anything.
Except that you've been putting down my husband while knowing nothing about him, despite the fact that you've also been stalking us like a creep. So if you want to know why you're not being let into our wedding, you can start there.
But you're my sister? I have to be there at your wedding.
I thought I already told you that you aren't my sister anymore. I want nothing to do with you ever again. Got it?
You think you can treat me like this just because you're getting married to a rich guy? Well, I'll just steal him right from under you. What do you think of that?
I think that you're talking nonsense and you don't even realize what you're saying. And that's just another reason why we're not letting you in. You're just here to make a big scene and ruin my wedding.
But I haven't even done anything wrong. How can you just accuse me like that?
We literally hired security for our wedding with you showing up and trying to do something like you are right now in mind. All you're doing is embarrassing yourself right now. Why don't you save some of your pride and just go home already, Teresa?
But this isn't fair! I got dressed up and came all the way here, and now you're telling me that you're not going to let me in? It's outrageous. How could you do this to me? All I did was cancel at the last minute. Is that really so bad?
I think that you only have yourself to blame for all of this, and that it's not fair for you to act like I'm being unfair right now. Just leave and save yourself more embarrassment. You're being filmed by the security cameras, you know.
But I really want to go to your wedding now that I knew famous people are going to be there. You have to introduce me to someone, please.
Aren't you married?
Forget about that. What about after the wedding is over? Is there going to be a reception somewhere? Maybe I can just meet you all there, right? Please tell me where to go.
Just go home already, Teresa. You know, this wedding might show up in some newspapers somewhere. Can you please just go before people find out that we're related? You're going to embarrass me and our family.
Excuse me. I'm going to embarrass our family. How dare you look down on me like that? Who do you think you are? You know, Mom and Dad reached out to me after I told you I wasn't going to your wedding, and they told me to never contact them again. You're trying to cut me out of your life when I didn't even do anything. My life's falling apart right now, and it's all your fault. You have to help me out somehow.
Why should I help you out with anything when this is all your fault?
What do you mean by that? That doesn't make any sense.
I really don't know what you even think I can do for you at this point. There are already rumors flying around the wedding about the crazy lady asking to be let in. There would be no point in joining the wedding now. The best you can do is just turn around and go home to save face. All you're doing now is making yourself look bad.
I'm the one making me look bad. You've got some nerve telling that to me. This is all your fault, you little brat.
I don't have time for this anymore. I know that you've built yourself up by tearing me down, but I am not going to stand for it anymore. I am cutting you out of my life. Please never, ever contact me again. Just leave me alone, Teresa.
But what about the wedding? I still want in. You can't just turn me away like this. I'm really sorry for canceling last minute, but please?
I've already given you my answer. Now please go home and get out of my life. After that, I just started ignoring my sister's texts. As she got more and more frustrated with not being let into the venue, she began acting out more and more. It got to the point where people began filming her antics and uploading them online, where she became somewhat viral. Her newfound popularity from screaming to be let inside of this celebrity wedding was enough to affect her husband, who was quickly identified after she went viral. It didn't take long after that for him to ask Teresa for a divorce. With no husband or family willing to talk to her, Teresa was left all alone. I'm sure she tried reaching out to me for help, but I had already blocked her on all social media, and she had no way of contacting me. Teresa hadn't worked since getting married and so had no savings of her own to speak of. I really have no idea what happened to her since then, but I've put her behind me and have concentrated on my own happiness with my loving husband and parents.
Well, little Lizzie has been really busy recently, hasn't she? I heard that you're getting married to Mike. This must be some kind of sick joke, right? Didn't you know that Mike was dating me? How could this possibly be happening?
Huh? Who is this? What are you talking about? What do you want? I haven't got a clue what you're on about.
Don't play stupid with me, Lizzie. You know exactly who this is. How could you ever forget a person like me? It's me, Justine. I'm Mike's ex-girlfriend. I'm sure he mentioned me to you at least once. I still feel really upset about all of this. I feel completely robbed, and it's all because of you.
Justine? Oh, so you're Mike's ex-girlfriend. How were you able to get this number? What's so important that you wanted to talk to me for? Come to think of it, when I first started dating Mike, you were the one who wanted to just flirt your way back into his good books. I don't get it. Why did you go to the trouble of finding a mutual friend of ours so that you could get my number and send me messages? All you're going to do is start trouble. What do you want, Justine?
Excuse me? What makes you think I've come here to start trouble? That makes you a really bad person just by thinking that of a person before anything else. I feel like I was definitely more of a better match for Mike than you are. I've got way more ambitions than you. Wouldn't it be better if you left Mike on your own accord so that I don't have to do so much hard work? You better leave before you start to feel miserable about yourself.
What do you mean before I start to feel miserable? Did you really just get my number just to bother me and threaten me to take my relationship away? Whatever you're planning, Justine, it's not going to work on me. What could you possibly do to me? You know that us getting married has nothing to do with you, right? What's your goal in contacting me, Justine?
I'm thinking of taking back what's rightfully mine. I want Mike to be in a relationship with me, so give him back to me, please.
Excuse me? What did you just say? You want me to give him back? He's not something who can be passed around. He's a person. Mike doesn't belong to you, and he wouldn't get back with you if you were the last woman on earth.
Maybe you're the only one who thinks that way, Lizzie. Mike's very decisive, and he'll definitely choose me over you every time. I can now go to the wedding ceremony with peace of mind. It's going to be so nice to see you get rejected. Huh? I'm so confused. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Justine. Don't even think about breaking into my ceremony. You were never invited, and you're not welcome either. You're starting to really annoy me right now. I don't need a chaotic situation right before my ceremony. If you've got something that you want to say, why don't you just contact Mike directly? Why are you telling me all this? Are you trying to start a fight or something? I'm not going to fall for your tricks. Hey, I'm just trying to give you some helpful advice before you make any mistakes. Why are you even getting married anyways? You know that Mike's going to end up choosing me in the end. Are you kidding me, Justine? That's less than helpful advice. I don't need it. Stop trying to pick a fight with me. You're stressing me out. You're just causing trouble, and I'm going to leave the conversation here. I've got a lot of things to do. As long as you understand what's going to happen, that's fine by me. I'm just trying to prepare you. You're not preparing me for anything at all. You're just stirring me up. I don't understand why you're doing this at all. Just be prepared to give Mike back to me, okay? That's all I want. Well, I suppose I better get ready for what's about to happen. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the wedding ceremony. I don't know what your plan is, but I am not going to let it happen. You're not going to get away with this. Please don't come here and get involved with our plans. I don't need your advice, and Mike doesn't need you in his life. Just leave us alone, why don't you? Well, I guess it's time to head over to the wedding ceremony now. Do me a favor and just disappear. What are you talking about, Justine? Why do I have to disappear when it's my wedding that I need to attend? You've got no power over what I do. The worst thing about all of this is you barging into our ceremony when you're not wanted. Can you please just stop this nonsense and move on with your life? How about I don't do what you say and barge in anyways? You can't just turn around and tell a woman who's 8 months pregnant what to do. Huh? What did you just say? You're not telling me you're pregnant, are you? Oh, didn't you know that I was? I thought it was common knowledge since the baby is Mike's after all. Don't start this crap. I know for a fact that's definitely not true. It's been too long since you last dated him. That doesn't make sense. That's why I came, to get Mike from the ceremony. He and I are going to get married, so you need to let him go. He's marrying me, and I'm going to have his child. You can't marry him. I know you're just saying all of these misleading things to get in my head, but it's not going to work. Have you lost your mind, Justine? Because there's no other explanation as to why you're doing this, apart from that you're a horrible person. Hey, I'm the one who's having a child here, so I should be the one that gets married to the love of my life, am I right? You're getting in the way of that. You're such a nuisance, and I want you gone. Excuse me? A nuisance? If anyone is being a nuisance right now, it's you, Justine. You're spoiling everything. You've obviously forgotten that I'm the one who's marrying Mike and spending the rest of my life with him. Well, sweetheart, that's not going to happen. I'm taking over your wedding and putting myself in your place. You're not going to be in the bridal position anymore, Lizzie. Mike and I are going to get married and run away with each other, so you don't need to worry about him anymore. I don't understand what you mean by not worrying. Because you're trying to steal my husband away from me? You really have gone crazy, haven't you? You seriously don't think you're allowed to come here, do you? You've said that you're going to marry him so many times that you're starting to become a pain in my backside. Are you really not getting where I'm coming from with this? Well, I'm ready, so you'd better prepare yourself as well. I'll make my enemy disappear, never to be seen again. Your enemy? Are you seriously kidding me, Justine? That's not going to happen. I'm the main character today, and you know it. Well, I don't know how you're going to be the main character when I'm supposed to be in that position. You stole the man I was supposed to marry and my wedding day, so I'm going to take it all back. Wow, I really have got no idea what's gotten into you. Are you okay? This is just ridiculous, Justine. Even if you were going to take over the ceremony with an attitude like that, the guests would be in an uproar. They'll definitely want you kicked out of the venue if you try to do anything to spoil our day. I'm not sensing any good vibes from this, so why don't you just talk to Mike so you can both straighten this whole thing out? I'm heading over now, Lizzie. You better be prepared for what I'm about to do. I told you to stop this, Justine. This is absolute madness. I don't understand why you're doing this. You're such a crazy woman. I haven't done anything to you. Please don't do anything stupid, Justine. What the heck is going on here? What's with everyone's reaction? Why is everyone laughing for? It's only a natural thing for me to want to marry the man who's the father of my child. I'm 8 months pregnant, for goodness sake. This wedding ceremony was supposed to be about me and Mike. Why isn't anyone taking it seriously?
I really don't know, Justine. Maybe it's the fact that you dated me over 3 years ago and claim a baby is mine. Don't talk such crap to me. Do you know how much grief you've caused for Lizzie? How long are you going to embarrass her for? I'm trying to tell you what she said before. Stop doing this to us.
Huh? Is that you, Mike? Why have you got Lizzie's phone? How long does it take you to finally contact me, huh? What the heck was that earlier on? Didn't you think it was terrible? How dare they laugh at me?
You know, Justine, when we dated 3 years ago, you were so cheerful and happy-go-lucky. Now I just get strange vibes from you. You're basically causing a chaotic situation. What did you plan on doing once you got to the venue? Huh?
I wanted to talk to you, Mike. I wanted to get married to you. I thought that I could just come by and take Lizzie's place and marry you right then and there. I'm the one who's pregnant. I'm the one you would choose, right?
I'm sorry. Why do you think I'd choose to marry you when you wanted to come in and take over everything?
Huh? But then why are you contacting me like this? Isn't it because you wanted to see me as you've made a huge mistake?
Are you kidding me? Don't you get it? It's because you've been harassing Lizzie with messages all day. How many times do I have to tell you so that you won't cause any more trouble? How could you act like this? Are you stupid or something? Why would you contact my fiancée? She's gonna be marrying me.
Please don't say things like that to me. I just want you to marry me, that's all. You weren't replying to my messages. I had no choice but to get in contact with Lizzie and convince her to leave and never come back.
You've gotta be kidding me. I didn't want to read your messages, so I blocked your number on my phone.
Wait, what? You blocked me? Why would you do that? All I wanted was to talk to you. What's the big deal?
Maybe it's because I want nothing to do with you, Justine? We broke up, and I don't want to be with you. Us dating is a thing of the past, and it's a part of my past that I don't want to reflect on. I'm just wanting to blank it out of my memory. I was relieved to not have heard anything from you in 3 years. And now you show up? Right before my wedding?
I've already tried to tell you what's going on. I'm pregnant, Mike. I'm going to have a baby. You're not going to abandon me, are you?
Why are you telling me all this? Shouldn't you be telling your parents and things that you're pregnant? Of course, that baby isn't mine, so don't try and put any of the blame on me. It's another man's child. We haven't even seen each other since we broke up, so how can it be my child? That's why all the guests at the ceremony burst out laughing, because they know it's not true, and they were embarrassed for you.
Why do you think I'm lying to you? I'm not lying. You're not going to do this to me, are you? You're not going to abandon me, are you? Are you telling me that you're not going to marry me, that I don't deserve you?
There's no way that I'm ever going to get back together with you. I'm so happy for the first time in my life with the woman I love, which is Lizzie. Please, just stop causing us so much trouble. We don't need this on what's supposed to be the best day of our lives. I don't want you coming anywhere near me ever again. Do you hear me? I'm not going to get involved with you, Justine.
Please, Mike, don't do this to me. Just wait a minute, please. You can't just abandon me. Just answer this question. Don't you still love me, Mike? Justine, please, just stop this, okay? That's enough of this nonsense. We just want you to leave us alone. I'm with Mike now, and I love him. Oh, great. Is this you, Lizzie? This is just perfect. What am I supposed to do now? How could you do this to me? How dare you embarrass me like you did? Why would you do this to a pregnant woman? Have you been pretending to be Mike and sending me messages? There's no way that Mike would just abandon me, right? You're playing me, aren't you? Huh? What are you even saying, Justine? You're not really making any sense, and what you're doing is awful. It's horrible that such a fuss was caused at my wedding ceremony. It shouldn't have happened. I feel so terrible right now. What a terrible way to put it. I did no such thing. I was entitled to do that because I'm Mike's ex-girlfriend, remember? I just wanted him back in my arms. It was really me who was supposed to get married to Mike today. You're ruining everything. So what, you're his ex-girlfriend. Now that he's not with you, whatever he does with his life has got nothing to do with you. It's been such a long time since you both broke up. Can't you just move on and find some other poor guy to marry? Besides, Mike's already my husband. What's he supposed to do if you've suddenly come back to get him and say you're pregnant? Everyone knows that it's not his baby, Justine. Who are you kidding here? Mike and I were planning to raise the child together. I know that he's always wanted a baby. But then you came in out of the blue and said you were going to get married to him. Mike is my man and always will be. Have you seriously lost your mind? You've actually gone crazy, Justine. He never said that to you. I guess when I said that we were getting married, you decided that you needed him more than I did. You don't like the fact that someone else is with him now. I never stole Mike away from you. You pushed him away. We started dating each other after you both broke up. He was my friend, but I never did anything with him when he was with you. Surely you remember what went down. You know that's what happened, right? I don't care what happened in the past. I need him by my side in the present. I want Mike to fulfill his role as a father. I believe Mike and I know he would never backstab me in order to be with you. He doesn't want that for himself. He cares about me too much. Besides, where's the evidence to prove that Mike's the father of the baby you're carrying? Huh? What are you talking about? What about my baby? What evidence could I possibly have? You know that you can find out the paternity of a child by analyzing its DNA, right? I don't need any DNA testing to prove who the father is. I know for a fact that this is Mike's baby. You do know that I'm pregnant, right? Don't you think that Mike should have chosen me? It's the better choice for him. What the heck, Justine? Why do you think that? You're completely delusional. You've lost your marbles, that's for sure. There's no why to be questioned. This is the way it should be. He should be with me, not you, and I'm having his child, and he should marry me. That's definitely not how it should be, Justine. How are you not getting this? We've explained this to you so many times now. How is it not sinking in? Mike said earlier that the two of you did date each other. You know that was 3 years ago, right? Why do you think that Mike would choose you now? He hasn't had contact with you in such a long time, and to be honest, he doesn't want to. He should choose me because I'm the one who's pregnant, and I know he wanted children someday, and that day is today. You're the one who's not understanding this. It's frustrating me so much. And whose baby is it, Justine, if you haven't seen Mike in 3 years? It's definitely not Mike's baby because he's been with me for the past 8 months. The reason that you both broke up in the first place was because you got caught cheating on him. He was devastated, but he knew he deserved better. Isn't it because of you that Mike gave up on your relationship? Because you cheated on him with another man? There's no way that Mike would ever start over again with a woman who sleeps around with other men behind his back. Oh, come on. That was a long time ago. I was young and stupid, and he was too. We had no idea how to act in a relationship. I'm sure he hung out with other women as well. I'm not the only guilty one in this story. I'm being serious about wanting him back. Even though you say these things now and feel regret, nothing's going to change. You can't have him. He loves me. But he can't do this to me. I'm the one who's pregnant and needs a man by her side. Don't you get that? How is he not prioritizing me over you? I'm the pregnant one. I'm the one who needs help. Oh, you didn't just go there. There is nothing wrong with him choosing me over you. No way would he want to get with a pregnant woman when the baby isn't his. And you know what? You've got no proof that it's his, so give it up, Justine. He's not getting back together with you. But don't you think it's terrible of him to abandon me in this condition? I am heavily pregnant and need a man. Wouldn't you help a woman out if they were pregnant? You do realize you're going way too far with that theory, right? This situation is completely different from just casually helping out a pregnant lady. Are you saying that someone should help you by marrying you while you're pregnant? Is that it? But someone would need to love you and even want to do that. It would be impossible. Like, actually think about it, Justine. You've gone quiet. Why did you shut up all of a sudden? Hello? Justine? Look, Mike and I are happily married. Don't you realize you're interfering with that? You've got nothing to do with us. You're just another outsider, and we don't want you in our circle ruining everything. Why are you trying to get so involved? I just wanted to be happy with Mike. That's all I've ever wanted, to be happy with him. Well, you had your chance, Justine, and you blew it. You know that, right? You should have thought about all of this while you two were dating and before you decided to go and cheat on him. It's too late for you. Everything you did with him is lost. You've got no one to blame but yourself. Even if you're pregnant, we all know it's not Mike's child. If you insist on keeping up with this fake story, prove it with a DNA test. Okay, fine, I admit it. He's not the father to my baby. I haven't seen Mike since we broke up. You happy now? I finally said it. Well, like I said before, I knew it wasn't his baby, so what's been the point of this conversation? It's been a complete waste of time and energy. But I'm in a lot of emotional pain. The father of my baby abandoned me. I thought that if I told Mike that it was his, he'd choose me and we'd be together. Oh my God, why would you do that? Do you know how selfish this is? Are you that self-conscious about doing this by yourself? Don't you think it's kind of dumb of you to get involved in ruining our wedding plans and make that sort of claim in front of everyone? I don't know how much of an expectation you had with Mike choosing you over me, but he'd never do that to me. Do you really think he would talk to you calmly and want to see you after breaking up such a long time ago? If someone asks you to get married because you're pregnant, don't you think you'd be causing trouble? Why would you even want to trouble Mike with such a burden when he wants to be with me? But I am in trouble, Lizzie. I can't have this baby without it having a father. Many women give birth to their babies and bring them up. It's very doable. You knew what you were doing. You need to take responsibility for the mess you've caused. Have you not thought to look for the baby's father yourself? You need to ask the baby's dad to take responsibility for what he's done too. He's also to blame for this. I don't know what else to tell you, Justine. This is something that you've got to deal with. Stop dragging Mike into it. But how can I? Mike isn't replying to me. You need to tell him what's going on with me. Please, you've got to tell him to contact me. How stupid are you, Justine? He doesn't want to speak with you. Who would honestly tell that to their own husband? He doesn't want to have to deal with a crazy woman who's making no sense at all. Crazy woman? Are you talking about me? I'm not crazy. My baby needs a father, and I want it to be Mike. Oh, for goodness sake, I am not doing this with you anymore. Are you sure there's no one else who'll be the dad? It really is a shame that you were trying to convince Mike to be the dad. It's embarrassing, really. I can't deal with you anymore. Feel free to worry more about this on your own, but you need to deal with your own problems. Stop giving them to us. Like Mike did, I'm going to block your number now. No, please wait. Please don't block me. Mike can't abandon me like this. I am so pregnant and I'm about to pop any minute. I've got no one else. Then maybe you need to go find yourself a new husband. Don't rely on mine. I don't want to hear from you ever again. Stop acting like a dumb crazy lady and get on with your life. You've got a baby to take care of. In the end, Justine held a huge grudge against Mike and Lizzie as they wouldn't help her. Apparently, she tried to cause a riot at the ceremony and was immediately kicked out by security. It seems like she embarrassed herself from the beginning to the end of that day. Both Lizzie and Mike have blocked Justine from getting in touch with them. After that, they never got a message from Justine again. Apparently, she never tried to do anything to either of them again. In the end, Justine couldn't rely on anyone. It seemed like she went back to her parents' house and gave birth to her child there. It would be better for her to take herself seriously and find another husband to marry and have his children. Lizzie was not contacted by that troublesome woman, and both her and Mike seemed relieved. The wedding was a disaster, but it was a good opportunity to start again. Did your mom really never make it through high school? I really never thought that in this day and age there would still be people like that among us. This is honestly so awful. Now I'm going to have to think about this all the time when around her, and people might start to make fun of me for it. Why the hell would she do something like that in the first place? I wish my husband would have told me about something as embarrassing as that before marrying me.
Hi, Melanie. What are you going on about right now? We had told you all about why she never made it through high school, but it seems at the time you didn't care to listen to any of us. So that's on you for not understanding the reason for it.
Huh? So you're telling me that had I listened to that lame excuse, I wouldn't be saying anything right now? When I heard this from Drake, I was beyond shocked, let me tell you.
I get wanting to hide something as huge as that, but come on. She should already know her place in this world now, and I don't want any part of it.
Hold on. We weren't even trying to hide that from you, though. And besides, you shouldn't be so judgmental of others based on their education anyway. The only thing you should ever be judging is the way one is living their life, and even then you should refrain from doing something like that. So would you leave this be now? My mom hasn't done anything to you besides be kind and generous.
What are you talking about? It's embarrassing that you're starting to go on now about how we shouldn't be judging one another off our education.
I'm not trying to say we shouldn't. I'm saying it's literally unfair to judge someone off of that alone. We shouldn't even be worried about how others live their lives at all, to be honest. Right now, my mom is living a very happy life, so shouldn't that be enough? I don't understand why you keep trying to make fun of her for having a happy life, just because she dropped out of high school.
Well, let me open your eyes a little to the truth. Right now, your mother is having to live off Social Security, right? That means she never had a good enough job to make any savings from, or even a 401k. And from what I've seen, she has so much time on her hands because she's not doing a single thing. She doesn't have the money to. And last time, when she came over to my house, she started asking for us to take care of her. She's causing problems for all my family now, and I will not have it.
What? She went over to your house? That's rare of her. My mom usually never goes over to other people's houses unless invited. And she's not the kind of person that would ask for others to care for her if she did go over.
You're her daughter, so of course you're not going to realize the true woman she is. In reality, your mom is so shameless and overbearing towards others, and the fact that she tries to act as though she's all that just pissed me off.
What? But really, my mom is not that kind of person. And if all of that were really true about her, you do realize that you're saying all of this to her daughter right now. Talking about her in such a horrible way right now doesn't make me feel too good.
Then start listening to me so that I don't have to talk about her that poorly anymore. So far, she's been causing so much trouble for your older brother and I.
I'll go have a talk with her about this then.
How can she think she's so above everyone else when she rides around on a scooter half the time to get around town? That really pissed me off, so I went and took it away from her.
What? What are you talking about?
Isn't it pretty dangerous for older people to be riding on things like bikes and scooters in the first place? I'm sure you never noticed how unbalanced she is on that electric scooter like I had. So I've made sure she can't ride on that dangerous scooter anymore. And another thing, an old hag like her isn't even good enough to be riding on such a high-end scooter anyway.
Hold on a sec. That scooter is something that my mom got into recently. She found it really relaxing to ride that over something like a bike or driving a car. And considering she's so close to so many things, there's no reason for her to use a car. She also happens to enjoy riding that scooter around in general, and that's probably why she looks like she's off balance or something at times. She's told you about how much she loves that scooter before, right?
Did she? And? You really think I gave a crap about how she felt when she's not even my mom? I am far younger than her, and I have a lot going on in my life that I need to get to. I think she'd be far more happy letting me take the scooter and riding it for her.
In other words, you just want it for yourself, right? How about you act like a responsible adult and go out and buy yourself one of those scooters if you want one so badly? Why would you even think that taking my mom's scooter is the best choice?
Because it's a pain in my butt to have to go out and buy my own. Hers is so easy for me to take, and it's still at my house right now. Since she's left it here, it's mine now, right?
I have no idea how that makes any sense to you. Haven't you always been the one bragging to me about all the money you have? Why would you find it all right to steal someone else's things when you can just go buy them yourself?
You have no respect for others' feelings, do you? I bet you're jealous and upset over the fact that I'm an elite, right? Considering all you are is some helpless comic book creator. And soon you'll be in your 30s, right? How much longer do you plan to chase after that stupid dream of yours?
Please don't start to make things about me right now. There's no need to be worried about me anyway. I'm doing well enough for myself, and that's all that matters. So let's get back to the topic at hand here, please?
You just let me make fun of you like that and you're not going to fight back? How How boring. Instead, you just went and dodged my slight at you, huh? What's the matter? Are you not even strong enough to defend yourself anymore?
Talking with you like this is really starting to wear me out. The fact that you can't even continue to talk about the topic of debate for more than a few minutes might be because you, yourself, don't have much of an education.
What? Excuse me, but what was that? Are you only now going to try fighting back? You're a bit too late to be throwing any punches now, so I'd stop if I were you. After all, the gap between you and I has been made already, and if you were to actually try swinging at me all the way up here, you'd fall right in.
The gap between you and I. None of what we've been talking about has been aimed at comparing you and I, so how did you get there? Are we jumping to yet another one of your off-topic topics?
You're nothing but a single comic book creator that has gotten nowhere with that. Whereas I'm married to your older brother and am his housewife and have a pet dog, making every day of my life wonderful and relaxing. There. Tell me which one of us is winning right now. It's pretty dang clear to everyone who is.
Ugh. Yep, all right. To your eyes, you are the one on top here. Go ahead and keep on bragging about your life then.
I'm going to be living the celeb life forever now. Drake went and proposed to me the next time he has to travel overseas. He's taking me with him, and it'll be a little treat for me. He may be busy with work every day of his life, but he still finds time to treat me right. Having this wonderful husband granted to me has really made my life like that of a goddess.
I'm not sure how I convinced you of anything else. But as my brother, is he really working that much? I'm not convinced myself that he's putting in all that time.
Your older brother is amazing. He opened his own business and is bringing in loads of money for the two of us. If he wasn't able to do all of that, then I wouldn't be able to live my life this way, right? You can tell just by the house we're living in that he's putting in the hours.
Hold on. There's something really fishy going on with him. Ever since I can remember, Drake has hated things like studying with a passion. And anytime my parents weren't looking, he'd run off and go mess around somewhere. So I'm not too sure he's pulled himself together as much as you're saying he has.
I don't think you can just speculate about how your brother is living right now. Unless this is just how you get when you're that jealous of us. You couldn't know about how your brother is doing anyway, considering you never talk to him at all, right? You both have always been at odds with one another, so it must hurt you to know he's living large now.
Has my brother been trying to make it seem as though the reason we're so distant is because of me? I'm sure he's also been the one making you think I'm not doing well as a comic book creator either, right?
That's right. He's told me all kinds of hilarious and embarrassing things about you. You both may be siblings, but neither of you turned out quite like the other. One is a successful business owner, while the other is barely making enough money to stay afloat each month. Let me just make this clear now, but if you ever are in need of help, don't come begging us for any. You figure your miserable life out on your own, all right? We're not here to be your caretakers.
I never planned on asking either of you for help, so don't worry. Now I'm going to go let my mom know that it's best not to go back over to your guys' house ever again. Goodbye now.
Make sure she understands that, all right?
Sure, I'll make sure she's aware of everything. Mom, did you go over to Drake's house recently? What happened? Did something happen to make you go over there?
Did you hear about this from him? Why are you texting me now, Alina? Oh, that's pretty rare of you.
Actually, I heard about you having been over to their house from Melanie. Why did you go over there?
Listen, Alina, I was wanting to have a word with your brother. I'd been trying to call him, but he wouldn't pick up, so I was wondering how to get a hold of him. That's when I decided it'd be best to just head over to his place and speak to him in person.
I see. I'm not sure why he didn't pick up your calls, but he's always been that way with us, right? Same with Melanie, for that fact. They both seem to think they aren't part of this family, and that's probably why Drake has never bothered to talk to you.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. But the thing is, he's my son and that's my daughter-in-law.
They can't just keep trying to avoid me forever, you know. But it seems that Drake didn't want to listen to what I had to talk about, even when I did go over there to see him in person.
Wait, what do you mean? What happened when you got there? Did they start to say terrible things to you then?
No, actually, we didn't really say much to one another at all there. I had originally wanted to go there and talk with him, and that's why I sent him a text letting him know that first. But I don't think Drake wants anything to do with me. And that's why he never picked up any calls from me or texted me back. Since he wasn't going to respond to me, I thought I'd at least take the chance, and that's why I went.
We both know those two were bad news.
What we did talk about at his house was very short, like I had said. When I arrived there, he answered the door, so we began to talk a little. That's when his wife came back from walking their dog. When she saw that we both had started to talk, she yelled at me to leave her property at once.
What? She started to yell at you? What was her reasoning for that?
She was upset that I was talking with my son while she wasn't around. She then went off about how I shouldn't be coming to their house even if I have so much time on my hands.
But they were both aware that you were wanting to come over and talk, so why would she get so upset by you simply coming over to talk?
I wonder that too. I wanted to finish up what I had to say to Drake, but she continued to annoy me, and that got me angry. So I ended up leaving before I could finish up.
That's what sent you home? Mom, you've always been able to handle a lot of stress and crap from others. She had to have said some other things to you that made you angry, right?
Well, about that.
Please don't hide it from me. This has to do with our family, so please let me know what else she said.
Well, what else that woman said to me? It has to do with you. She told me that if my daughter is a failed comic book creator, then that means I'm a failure myself. She started to talk even more crap about you than she did about me.
Wait, she was getting upset about me? Wow, that woman. She really does have the worst personality. Mom, you don't have to be worried about all of that. You know very well that I'm not what Melanie thinks I am, and that's why I've learned to just ignore her.
I understand that, but having to listen to my own daughter-in-law talk trash about my very important daughter is just heartbreaking. Of course that was going to get me upset.
Well, I'm sure as a mom that would make you pissed off.
The thing is, you are doing so well on your own, making money that most could only imagine of bringing in. And the fact that you're doing all of that, and only in your late 20s, is fantastic to me. It's admirable. There is nothing about you someone else should be talking trash about.
I know. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for always having my back like that, Mom. Because you've always been there for me, pushing me along. I've been able to make this life that I have now.
You are outstanding, Alina. But when it comes to that woman, you're not doing anything about her, are you? I get that. But in my case, I can't just sit around letting her say things like that about you. I think part of this is my fault for letting both your brother and her get away with behaving like that for so long now.
I don't think that's true. By the way, Melanie went and stole your electric scooter, right? I love how she talks herself up so much only to have to take things from others to feel good.
Ugh, I knew it. I wasn't sure who had my scooter this whole time, so I didn't want to start aimlessly blaming people. But I knew my gut was right when it said she was the criminal.
Wait, you didn't know it was her?
I didn't. After all, she told me she had no clue where the scooter went. When I asked her about it, she never once said that she herself was the one that had it.
Wait, you went and asked her about it? So she would lie to you about it and then turn around and tell me the truth? I'm not really sure what she was meaning to do there, but by letting me know she did it, she should know I'd go talk to you about it, right? Either that or she doesn't seem to think that she did anything wrong. That'd be even worse. What an awful person.
I'm sure because I was the one asking about it at the time, she didn't want to say the truth. But had she done so, things would have gotten into a pretty heated argument. Maybe she just assumed that you wouldn't be able to do anything about it, and that's why she went and told you the truth?
That might be it, considering she's always calling me weak. She's really just having a ball messing with both you and I.
She sure is. We can't let this go on any longer, though, can we? I always knew there were things wrong with that woman's behavior, but she just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm not going to let this continue.
All right then, let's do something about her. Hey, where did you just run off to? Answer your phone right now. What the hell were you thinking, pouring that hot coffee all over my mum and running?
I have to go home and take care of my dog, as well as a few other things. You all should be happy I stopped by for that little bit of time and showed my face, right? The thing is, though, I would have stayed around a little while longer had it not been for the old hag. What was she thinking, coming up to me like that and questioning me about her scooter? I'm not going to hang out on the 4th of July and listen to her go on about that stupid thing all day. That's why I'm leaving.
She was just asking about it. After all, I had asked her about her scooter and where it was. But at that time I talked with her, she said she didn't know where it went. How come she didn't know about you taking it?
I had already told her once before that I had nothing to do with that scooter. She started to talk to me about it, and I wasn't going to just sit there and listen, so I lied to get her off my back. But bringing that up again to me? How freaking annoying. Wouldn't you get a little upset over having to listen to the same story about that scooter again?
Well, the reason she confronted you again is because you were the one who stole it from her. And you shouldn't find it annoying when someone comes to try and talk to you about how bad you've been behaving.
To be honest, actually, the both of you are freaking annoying. A high school dropout mother and her little failure of a shut-in daughter. That makes for a seriously cringe mother-daughter relationship. I know the both of you would just love to have my husband and I take care of you two forever. But you both are never going to have that future.
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
Considering things are coming to a close between us, let me make this very clear. I do not want anything to do with your uneducated and moneyless mother. I plan to cut ties to her and you now, since you both think you can get close to us for our money. Goodbye.
Do you have any idea what you're saying? The inside of your head must be completely empty besides all that hot air.
Huh? What was that? Is the loser really going to try and take a jab at me now? You're making me laugh for real now.
And that idea that you have there has already made me piss a little laughing. I get that my mom never made it past high school, but that didn't stop her from getting into the realty world and owning a lot of properties. Nothing about her is moneyless, yet you seem to not know about that yet.
What? What are you talking about now? What do you mean by that?
I mean exactly what I said. I'm sure to you she seems to have a lot of time on her hands, and that completely makes sense. But in reality, behind the scenes, she's running her own business. She goes out every so often to work with her customers and will travel a lot in order to make more connections with other companies.
Huh? What are you talking about? If you're actually being serious right now, then that would mean she's more busy actually doing something than I thought. But I can tell that she's got nothing going on, so better luck lying to me next time.
You don't have to believe anything I say, but just know that it's not a lie. I'm sure if my mom was a little more open about what she'd been going on with both of you, then you'd be coming over to her place all the time to see her. But she's decided it's better to keep everything she's doing a secret. Well, not a secret, but she hasn't said anything to you both yet.
Are you kidding me?
Also, there's one thing I have to say. My brother's not some business owner like you've been thinking. All he is a gambling addict who loves to go to the casino.
Huh? What does that mean?
He tried his best to make it seem like he was making it in this world by telling my mom he wanted to have his own business. And in order to get her to send him money each month, he lied, saying that he'd been working hard on making that business come true. My mom never told me anything about what was going on, so I had no clue for so long.
What? So you're telling me this whole time we've been living off her money?
That's what I'm saying. But that money won't be coming in anymore, as she's done handing anything to you two.
Huh? You're lying, right? Hold on. If she stops sending us money, then how are we both going to carry on?
Weren't you calling yourself one of those elites or something? How about you use your eliteness to get a job?
No, wait. That's,
Or could it be that you were just lying to yourself this whole time, trying to make yourself feel as though you could actually do something? Well, don't get too far ahead of yourself, considering you only worked for less than a year before quitting and marrying my brother. You have nothing to show for, Melanie. I promise you.
No way.
My mom was planning to take all of the property she owns still and splitting them fairly between her 2 kids. But after what happened today, since you seem to think it's okay to pour boiling hot coffee on my mother, she's no longer going to deal with you both. Consider this the end of relations between both you and her. After today, she's cutting ties with you. There's nothing going to you both now.
No freaking way. Wait. I get it. I'll apologize to her. Had I known about all of those things, I would have never treated her so badly.
It's because you thought it was all right to treat her like that in the first place. She's cutting ties to you. And the last thing, would you both be able to leave that house you're living in right now for us?
What?
That house both you and Drake have been living in was given to you both by my mom. Well, not really given, rather she was letting you guys borrow it. I'm not sure what all my brother told you before about that house, but my mom is the one who owns the house and has the right to have you both removed from it.
Wait, please, I understand. I'm so sorry for all the things I've done to you both up until now, but please, wait a second. I can't take all of this at once, you know.
We never said you had to take any of it in and understand it. My mom is already getting ready to kick you both out, so just listen to what she says and you'll be just fine. Legally, that is. I'm sure personally your life is going to become very tough and you might not be fine. Well, good luck with that.
Please, go and tell your mom something to get her to stop. But I don't want this. I don't want to have to work.
And the very last thing I forgot to mention, if you both come to us begging for help, it's not going to accomplish anything. We're not going to help you guys. Isn't that strange? You were just saying those exact same things to me a little while ago, right? Both you brain-dead losers need to go rot in hell with the shame you've brought upon yourselves. After that, Melanie began to freak out and came running and crying all the way back to the party. But her apologies that she gave me on her hands and knees meant nothing. Both my mom and myself did not listen to her begging and pleading. My mom went ahead and stopped all that financial support she was giving them. Along with that, she put the house they were living in on the market and then cut ties to both of them. Both Melanie and Drake tried so hard to stay in that house for as long as possible, but after multiple warnings from the realtor my mom had placed the house under, they called the police and made sure both the squatters were taken away. After that had happened, we didn't hear much else from the two, besides the police telling my mom and I over the phone that they both tried to say that the house was theirs and that my mom would prove it. But my mom never said the house was theirs and was only really allowing them to stay there out of kindness, which they both took for granted. So she told the police officer the house was not theirs and a part of her business. When this is all ended for my mom and I told her the whole story would make for a really good plot for my next comic and got writing and drawing. A little while later, the story went public, and before I knew it, I was being asked for some larger publishers to go and work with them. Of course, now that I'm on my own, outliving my dreams and making good money, I'll never have to look back at helping my brother and Melanie with anything. And naturally, I don't care about how those two are doing anyways, because I'm already certain life is not great for either of them anymore. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you in the next story.
I can't believe how lazy you're being, Sasha. How about you do some housework once in a while? Who do you think is the reason you're able to live in such a large 6-bedroom house with a living, dining, and kitchen? Not everyone is fortunate enough to live in a great place like this. Why don't you do something for your family for once? Yolanda, why on earth are you having a go at me about this right now? I'm in the middle of working right now. There's no point to you attacking me like this. Well, I didn't know that you even had a job. Look, you're somebody's wife, Sasha. How about you do a better job of it? Do you even realize that you're able to live a good life because of my wealth? Oh, come on, Yolanda. I honestly don't understand why you're treating me like this when I do my best to be a good wife and worker. Besides, I don't think that's even remotely true. I do my part at the house.
I knew you were going to start acting up like this. I knew you were nothing but a useless and lazy wife that takes no responsibility for her actions. You say that you've got to leave the house because you have so much work to do. You think that it's okay to just leave all the work that needs to be done in the house to someone else, am I right? If that's the case, why don't we make Dylan do the housework as well? He clearly has more time on his hands than me. Before you all moved into this house, I was still doing quite a bit of the housework. Ever since you've moved in, no housework has been done at all by any of you. Are you being serious right now? You're going to make Dylan do the housework? Are you kidding me? Don't make your husband do all the housework. That's such a lazy thing to do. You should be doing it yourself. It's your job. If you actually sit down and think about it for a little bit, you'll understand that you need to do more work. No, What the heck, Yolanda? Don't you think the ideal you have when it comes to what men and women do is a bit old school? If you actually use your brain, you'll know that I'm the breadwinner in the family. I think it's more efficient if others who have more time on their hands do the housework. It just makes a lot more sense, Yolanda. Ugh, it's very annoying when you talk like you're always right. I really hate that about you. I'm sorry? Why would you say something so cruel to me? I've done absolutely nothing to you. I hate everything about you, Sasha. I don't know what my son ever saw in you. You need to get out of this house and leave us alone. You're just a lazy housewife who doesn't contribute to the housework in any shape or form. Just watching you live in the house doing nothing is such an eyesore. It's so painful. Oh, okay, please, go ahead and say whatever you like, Yolanda. You think you can just say terrible things like that because you're my mother-in-law? You know nothing of the truth. I think if you actually knew the whole truth, then you'd keep your mouth shut and not say a single word. What truth? What on earth are you talking about, Sasha? Tell me what you mean by that. Are you sure I'm allowed to say something? You want to know the truth? You've not wanted to hear me out before now. Just hurry up and tell me. I'm getting sick of waiting. You're such a horrible woman to deal with. You know for a fact that I would do anything to support the lifestyle of this family. To be honest, it's thanks to me that you're able to live in this house, Yolanda. Oh, come on, Sasha, don't make me laugh. That's crap and you know it. Stop making such silly remarks and get back here early today for once. If you don't do some housework, I'll throw out all your belongings. You don't deserve to be in this house if you don't put in the work. Are you insane? That's just too much, Yolanda. It's so rude to make demands without listening to what other people have to say. I'm going to let Dylan know what's going on. If you won't listen to me, then at least listen to your own son. Dylan, can you please do something with your mother? What she's saying is getting beyond a joke. I'm so tired of all the abusive comments and misunderstandings and all the delusional things she said to me.
Well, she's my parent, right? I guess she can choose to say whatever she likes.
I'd like you to tell her to choose her words more carefully when she's interacting with me. She even went to the extent to tell me that she hates me. Like, how could she do that when I've done so much for her? She even told me to leave the house. She was threatening to throw out my things if I didn't do any housework.
Look, what she said can't be helped. Her emotions aren't something that I could control. I can't tell her to stop expressing her feelings, especially the love and hate ones.
Even though I've got no intention of doing this, but you know that there will be trouble if I were to leave, right? Dylan, you know that I work so much all the time. I don't have time to do housework. Look, she's your mom. Can you at least try to convince her to treat me a little better, please?
But if I do that, it's going to cause so much trouble for me. If you're going to take this to a whole new level, why don't you just leave?
Are you serious? You think that I'm better off leaving? You think that's okay to do that?
I'm getting so exhausted just listening to you argue with my mother. My mom was also saying that she hates everything about you. To be honest, I feel the same way as her about you. I'm so tired of what's going on between the two of you.
Are you being serious right now? You hate everything about me? Have you forgotten what I've done for your family up until this point? What I did was all for nothing, wasn't it?
Well, now both my father and my mother are here. I don't really need anything from you anymore. I think I'll do just fine without you.
You really think you'll be fine without me doing everything for you? Do you really think you're going to do everything for your parents?
Yes, so why don't you just leave us alone to live our lives then? We'd be so much better off. My mother feels exactly the same way too.
Wow, is this real? Man, you really are a piece of trash, aren't you? You're such a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah? And what are you going to do about it, Sasha? Huh? You bad-mouthing me isn't gonna get you anywhere.
Well, I just had no idea that you were such a thoughtless dummy. You never think for yourself, you just go along with what your mommy says. No, now that I actually think about it, I had a feeling you were always going to turn out like her. I really can't deal with you and your crappy family anymore. Can you change your name as well, if that's all right with you?
Why should it be me that has to change things? You're being such a pain right now.
No, it would be impossible for me to do all the work if you want me to leave. Please, just carry the burden for once in your life. You need to get all the right documents ready, but if you don't want to do it, I guess I've got no choice but to do things myself.
It seems like such a hassle, though. But I get what you're saying. I guess we can finally end this and go our separate ways.
You're probably so glad that this is happening, right? The woman who is so blind to everything is getting out of here. I just heard what happened between you and my son. I heard that he was very successful in getting rid of you. Well, I suppose he was, yes. I was also told something that I thought was extremely rude, so I decided to leave as quickly as I could. You should have been leaving way before now. This is all your fault, and we're not taking any of the blame. Huh? What are you even talking about? You were too dependent on my son's kindness towards you. He hasn't said anything bad up until now. I guess you've been trying to get others to do what you should have been doing. You're able to make a living because I'm the one who does all the housework for you, isn't that right? You're delusional, Yolanda. You don't even make any of the meals for me, and the only housework you do is your own. Well, wouldn't it be better for you to do something about it? If you're going to be acting so cocky, the people around you aren't going to listen. Don't you realize how hated you are by us? You're so annoying, Sasha. Please, go ahead and say whatever you like, Yolanda. I know you're wrong. I really don't care about this anymore. I suppose I'll just do as you wish. If I must do that, then I will. It's finally happening. The trash is finally being put out on the curb. Would you quit calling me a piece of trash? I am not a piece of trash. I don't appreciate the rude comments. You're such a good-for-nothing scumbag, Sasha. Don't you see how much of a useless woman you are? Excuse me? Are you seriously trying to put me down right now? You've got to be kidding me, right? You're a useless woman that lives in a beautiful big house that my son bought, and you're not even grateful for this life he's given you. I hate everything about you, and it's time for you to leave once and for all. Now, get out! Yes, all right, I get it, Yolanda. I'll leave. It's all over for this family anyway. You need to leave immediately, and I'm not kidding around here. Of course, I totally understand. I've reached my limit of living with such an ignorant and stupid mother-in-law. You can't push me any further than this, all right? How about you go ahead and tell your pain-in-the-ass son that, okay? What on earth did you just say to me? Don't you think what you said before was a bit rude? You need to apologize right now. Me? Apologize? For what? You know there's no way I'd do that, right? Are you kidding me? Who do you think was more rude in this situation, Yolanda? Comparing this to your previous rude remarks, this is nothing. My stupid comments aren't a big deal. I find them kind of endearing. I'm your husband's mother, and you shouldn't be acting like this towards me. But I'm free to say whatever I like to you. Don't even think that I'll forgive you for your cocky attitude. If you're going to act like this towards my family, you can just leave right now. Haven't we already established that I should be leaving because of my so-called bad attitude? You know that it's all over for you and your family when I bail, right? Wait, what? What's that supposed to mean? What are you talking about? What's over? Well, if you don't know now, I guess you'll find out soon enough. Thank you for all that you've done for me up until now, Yolanda. But to be honest, what you've done until now has been an absolute joke. You can't even be civil until the end of all this. You're such a terrible woman. I never want to see your face ever again. Wow, what a coincidence. That's exactly what I want to happen as well. I don't ever want to see you again, Yolanda. Can you do that without contacting me, I wonder? There's no way that I'd ever want to talk to you ever again. You've ruined everything for this family, and you've been officially disowned. You're nothing but a stranger to us now, and we don't want you here, so leave and never come back. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I don't intend to come back. Since I was always such a nuisance, I'll just disappear. Please don't ever contact me again. I don't want to hear from you or listen to you complain about me anymore. Wow, this is hilarious. Are you insane or something? What do you want, Yolanda? Why must you contradict yourself? You say that you're never going to contact me again, but you leave me almost 300 messages on my voicemail? Don't you see how over the top that is? What's your problem, Yolanda? That doesn't matter right now. You need to answer your phone, for goodness sake. We've got no time to mess around at the moment. I left the house with a promise from you that you'd never contact me ever again. That's a better way to point it, right? Why should I be given orders like that from somebody who has treated me terribly? Honestly, I don't feel like answering the phone even if I was told to do so. Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean? Why are you still acting like a little brat? You should grow up and answer the phone like a real adult. I'm your mother-in-law, remember? You're supposed to obey me at all times. Oh, am I now? What a joke. I'm laughing so much that my stomach hurts. Would you quit it so I'm not in pain? I don't understand what's going on here at all. Why are you laughing about this when there's nothing funny? I love how you think you can still control me, Yolanda, but you can't anymore because you're no longer my mother-in-law. You did say that I'm nothing but a stranger to you now, right? Even when I left, I had a hard time holding in my laughter. But you seriously need to calm down. You're causing me so much trouble over trying to contact me even though I left. Is this about the loan you have? Is that why you're trying to talk to me? Hold on, what? But how could you have possibly known about that? Do you know how much the loan is on this house? Of course I know that. Who do you think was trying to pay off that loan this entire time? I've been the one who's been paying for it. Are you kidding me? That must be a lie, right? You've been paying for it? How can you afford to pay such a large amount of money for this loan? Dylan and I were so shocked about how much we had to pay for the recent loan payment. It's extremely high. There's no way that we can pay for that. Well, when I went through the process of switching the loans and changing the house into Dylan's name, I'm sure there was a statement attached to the documents about the balance of the loan, right? Huh? Are you for real? I haven't seen a loan that huge before. You're lying through your teeth right now, aren't you? It's pointless to lie like that, and I'm not punishing you that much. Shouldn't you be checking your documents right now? It should all be clearly stated in the document. When I originally bought it, it was a joint purchase between Dylan and I. I've been the one paying for the loan ever since my stupid ex-husband turned on me. So I just switched everything over to him. Normally, when your in-laws move in, they should be contributing a little bit. You really should have paid so you knew what it was like for me. Wait, so my son had no idea that you were paying for the loan and that he made no effort to pay anything? You backstabbed him. No, I think he knew that he wasn't paying for it. He was so lazy with paying for things. I don't think he's paid anything towards the loan for a long time. Maybe he must have forgotten that when it comes to buying a house, you pay the loan and he just ignored his responsibilities. So who's going to pay back this kind of money towards the loan? There's no way that we can afford to pay for this by ourselves. Well, have you thought about leaving the house so that you don't have to? It would really make things a whole lot easier. Excuse me? Did you just tell me that we should be the ones leaving the house? We have more rights to this house than you do. Well, I'm really not an expert on this kind of thing. Look, I changed my name on the house through the proper procedures. It was all changed from my name to Dylan's name so that I no longer had to pay the loan anymore. I don't think you can escape this mess, to be honest, so I guess you'll just have to do your best in paying for the loan. You telling me your problems isn't going to solve anything, so just do what you need to do. Is this some kind of sick joke? But it was your mistake for not disclosing how much we owed on the loan. This is all your fault. You should be bearing some of the burden for this. We shouldn't have to pay for the full amount of the loan. This isn't fair. I see what you're trying to say. If you're going to insist that I do, maybe you should consult with a lawyer. But why should I need to do that? You should be doing what I tell you to do. You've made this a huge problem for my family. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think any lawyer would try and help you with this. It's not my fault that it's all in your son's name now. You're the one that neglected to check all the documents, and look what you were getting into by staying in that huge house. If you insist on taking another step further, why don't you just sue me? But to be honest, it would be a waste of time and effort on your part. What on earth are you talking about? Are you trying to provoke me into doing more to you? Why are you being like this? You think I'm provoking you? Why would I want to do that? You're a stranger to me, and I don't want anything to do with you. Please resolve this with your son and leave me out of it. I don't want to be a part of it anymore. You'll have to do something if you want to stay in that house. I don't get it. How is it that you have so much money to part out for all these things, and my son has hardly anything? How is that possible? Dylan works really hard and should be earning a lot of money for the household. Well, that would be a good thing to ask your son about, Yolanda. The reason why I've got a lot of money is because I run a company. Wait a minute, what? That can't be. You run a company? All by yourself? How did I not know about this? Maybe it's because you never asked me about my work. Besides, I wouldn't have even told you in the first place anyways. Especially because of the way you were treating me and making me be more of a housewife. A few years ago, I inherited a company from my grandfather. It's not really that big of a company, though. But even then, I'm able to make a decent living and enjoy the things I love in life, so it's okay. I can't believe this. You actually run a family-owned company? So does that make you a boss? Is that right? I suppose I am, if you put it that way. But as soon as I became the boss of the company, Dylan lost interest in having a job. He quit his job and just became a part-time employee at some company. He hardly works as much as I do. I'm sorry, what did you just say? Are you telling me that my son Dylan, my brilliant son, is only a part-time worker? He doesn't work full-time at all? No, he is not a full-time worker. I think he only goes to work 3 days a week, if that. During his downtime, he would be doing housework. I'd be the one going to work almost every day and kept the money coming in. I guess that's how it turned out. It all ended after Dylan decided to invite his parents into our house, even though you shouldn't have been living there. You've been showing too much hostility towards me, and I just can't deal with you anymore. It's not fair on me. Just hold on a minute there, Sasha. I didn't quite understand what you just said. I had no idea that the situation was like this. Sasha, the fact that you're a boss of a company is a huge honor, and it's a very important position to have in our society. Why have you been keeping this so quiet up until now? I don't get it at all. Didn't I tell you why I kept so quiet about my job? It's because you never asked and didn't want to know anything about me. Obviously, Dylan didn't say anything either, since he didn't want you to know that he's lazy and doesn't like working for his family. If you actually showed a little bit of interest in me, you should have asked, and we might have gotten along a bit more than this, but it's too late now. So that's why you were able to live in such a spacious house. I thought that it was Dylan who bought the house and paid off the entire loan. Well, no, that would be almost impossible. He and I shared the loan, and it wasn't paid off in full at all. Now it's solely his responsibility. That's just how it turned out. But I told you that things were going to be over for the family, right? Dylan dug his grave. He can lie in it. It was all because of me that you were able to live such a carefree lifestyle, Yolanda. It was thanks to me you could live in our house. I can't believe that you never thought it was me who kept you in that house. It's hard to find someone who would believe you if you just said something out of the blue like this. It's not entirely my fault that I treated you the way I did. I really still can't understand how it all turned out like this. It's not fair. It's not my fault that I thought you did nothing. You weren't being truthful. Even if you don't understand it right now, I am telling the truth, and I've always been telling the truth. It was Dylan who was making random decisions without thinking about the consequences. I honestly think it was really stupid of him to do what he did, but that's on him now. This is over, and I'm done with this. I don't have anything more to say to you or to your son about this mess. But you can't just leave us in this situation. Oh, we can't afford to pay the entire loan off. Aren't you going to help us out? Help you? Really? Why would I want to help you now after the way you've treated me? You're just strangers to me now, so I can't just help out someone that I don't really know anymore. Please, just do your best with paying off the loan. I'm sure you'll be able to be mortgage-free in no time. Or you can just move out. How could you act so cold towards your own family? You can't just not help us and abandon us with this issue. Oh, please don't do this to me. I'm your mother-in-law. You can't just leave me in this situation. We need you back to help us. Please just come back here and forgive me and my son. I don't think I will. It was a dark part of my life, and you're just a stranger to me now. I'm really glad I can say goodbye to an old hag and my stupid husband. Well then, from now on, just help out each other as mother and son. I think I just want to disappear from this situation. Isn't this great? I can disappear right in front of your eyes. It's honestly turned into the worst situation for you, so I'm going to leave you to it. It's your own fault that you got into this position in the first place, so there's no way I can help that, right? In the end, Yolanda needed to explain to her husband and her son Dylan what was going on. They couldn't pay the loan together as a family, so it seems that they decided to move out of the house. Yolanda blamed Dylan for not thinking about the loan. On the other hand, he used the excuse that he didn't say anything because he was kicking me out of the house. He had no words to say to his mom, so all he could do was apologize over and over again. It was also a disaster for Yolanda's husband, who got dragged into this mess. Maybe they're all paying the price since they didn't know how to communicate with each other properly. I heard that the family are trying to find a place to move into together. However, it seems like the only thing they can afford at the moment is a run-down one-bedroom apartment with ongoing problems.